Okay, hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to day 3, hello over there. Welcome to day 3 of the Chaos Communication Congress here in Berlin in the BCC. I'm glad someone did show up tomorrow on the third day. All of you, I'd like to thank you from Berlin for the hospitality we're experiencing here. Okay, so it's just a personal note. Okay, we start off today with some Wi-Fi optimization, especially IEEE 802.11e, so it won't be of any help here. Your slow wireless will stay slow, but hopefully when this approach comes through next year, we maybe have faster wireless, but you need to purchase in your car. The talk will be held by Achim Friedland. He's currently studying computer science at the TU in Ilmenau. And this talk is from a work he had to do for his studies. Okay, so just give it up for Achim Friedland.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Welcome to my breakfast lecture. I hope you all sleep well. I will talk about optimization for your Wi-Fi. This is not really intended for normal Wi-Fi in a hotspot or something else. It's more intended for point-to-point links and mesh network based on Wi-Fi. So, the outline. I will talk a bit about the standards of 102.11. I will later on go on some performance optimizations and give short conclusions and prospect on future work. So let's start with some motivations. Why you could do this, what I did. There are, first of all, perhaps the academic motivations. You have to do something when you are studying. And there are a lot of nice ideas. Perhaps you have a university campus, and there are a lot of buildings, and a lot of non-university buildings in between. You will have a problem, internet access in a faraway building, maybe on one hand slow or expensive to get, because you can't have fiber optic link to every building. Perhaps it's a better idea to have Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi can give a quite sufficient and cost-effective internet service. Once you have used point-to-point Wi-Fi links, there are perhaps better or more interesting ways to play with this technology. There are a lot of ideas how to build mesh networks. The word mesh is more or less just, it's a piece of bullshit bingo. Every kind of non-so-bland network today is called mesh network. We have to look at this in detail later. The academic excuses why to do this are mostly, we can improve performance or robustness or something else. At least we can do some optimization. There are other motivations perhaps. The internet infrastructure, is mostly brought to you by ISPs. They are hierarchical and controlled more or less centrally. There are a lot of internet exchange points. They are very centrally organized, and you never know when there is a problem in society. Will the DX6 really run at this moment or not? So, yes, at the moment, perhaps even our society has some problems with democracy. And in this case, even the other projects, the overlay networks, YAP or Tor, they are really cool and nice projects. They will give you confidentiality and integrity, but there's another part of security. It's called the availability. And yes, they are overlay networks, and they need a network under this technology, though perhaps they may not work all time. There are some related works to my work. There are a lot of different projects and ideas how to build point-to-point or mesh networks. You all should know the Freifunk.net people. They are building huge and well-optimized mesh networks. They are quite a bit different from the networks I will talk about. I will give you the differences on a later slide. There are academic projects with newer ideas how to build mesh networks like the MIT RoofNet. There's even an upcoming IEEE 800.11s standard for mesh networking. This is also not quite the kind of mesh networks I will talk about. Yes, all these networks together have still some problems. They are quite nice, but even the Freifunk people know OLS-Air is a very nice solution, but perhaps not the best. They are at the moment designing a new protocol. It's called Batman. Perhaps someday there will be a talk about this from the Freifunk people. And let's look at the Wi-Fi scenarios I'm interested in. They're basically the normal long-range point-to-point links and mesh networks. As you can see on the right side, there are different colors for every link between mesh nodes. This should represent different channels. I personally don't think it's a good solution to have a flat network like the Freifunk people, so that every node, every link uses the same channel. This will limit the throughput and increase the delay. It's more complicated to have different channels, but perhaps someday, in some years, we have some good ideas how to solve these problems. We are also not interested in the legacy 800.11 standards. The B standard might be a quite good standard for building long-range links, but there are more interesting features in the 800.11e standard, mainly in the medium access code, not in the layer 1 part of this standard. The main problem for 800.11 was, no, it is still, it's mainly designed for much more than 2 people, mainly for use to be used in a hotspot. It's designed to support short distances and a lot of frame errors. And even more or less, it's designed to work indoors. When you look at the new standard 800.11n, the real throughput gain can only be, you can only get real 600 megabit of throughput if you are indoor. In outdoor scenario, this won't be possible. On point-to-point links or point-to-point links used in mesh networks, this assumption is changed, and we have to look at them and the functions of these parameters a bit more in detail. So, the first thing you will experience of Wi-Fi is, okay, the throughput and the delay might be okay, even compared to DSL, but compared to normal wired internet access, it's really slow. So perhaps you will just say, oh, let's do the Cisco way, use more bandwidth. But there's the questions how to use it clever. Perhaps it's not really useful just to double the bandwidth, like Atheros does at the moment with its channel bonding service. We will see that this is a nice solution, but won't increase the throughput really dramatically. We could also use a normal channel bonding. This is simply to use two channels and use a round-robin service or something else to send one packet on this link and another packet on the other link. This is perhaps also quite a nice solution, but it will have problems if both links have different failures or different delays and so on. It will be quite difficult to use an adaptation layer to hide this hardware problems to the higher layers. So another solution, a solution not really new, but perhaps the effects are quite interesting, are directed radio links where you use two channels, one for the upstream and one for the downstream. It's quite the same like your Ethernet does with full duplex. You have one pair to send and one pair to receive. But in the wired internet, it's not really, the improve is nice, but not really dramatically. In the wireless world, there are quite interesting effects of this technique. As I said, doubling the bandwidth is a nice idea, but it's very interesting. This will only increase the throughput by about 41%. This is not really cool when you think you use 100% more bandwidth, but only get 41% more throughput. What is frame bursting and aggregation, we will see soon. The channel bonding, as I said, it's quite complicated. This complexity will also limit the throughput. And the most interesting thing is at direct radio links there won't be any concurrency. Even on point-to-point link, you have two users and they will fight for channel access. This can be solved, and we will see that this will have really interesting effects even on TCP. And for all these methods, you could use the 800.11e quality of service parameters and optimize them. That's a really rough overview about the Mac. Here you can see. Oh.
Good morning. The next talk will be about unlocking FileVault, the encrypted file system in Mac OS X computers. All of you Mac users probably know this. Besides the fact that they claim to
Yes. Okay. The basic access method used in all wireless standards is, just look at the medium. If it's busy, wait until it's free. Wait a different time. It's called a distributed interframe space. It's just some time. Then you have the contention files. There you wait different time slots. The actual number of time slots you will wait is random. So if you have multiple stations who want to access the channel, they probably will have or will choose different random numbers, and so not every station will access the channel at this point at this quite same point of time. So you have a bit controlled the channel access. Okay, when the